afternoon, everybody. Sorry to interrupt our beautiful music playlist for our cooperative education class. During the next 50 minutes or so, we are going to be doing a makeup class for the DCO3O, the cooperative education class that normally runs Monday to Thursdays from 10 a.m. until about 11. Due to office closures and being home with sick kids, I just wanted to do a makeup lesson of lesson 3, which should have been broadcast during our regular time, but I appreciate your cooperation in allowing me to present the material now. Today we are going to look at lesson 3 of our Creating Opportunities Through Cooperative Education course. We are at the end of our first week. Here at WASA, we have terms that are 9 weeks in length, making up 4 terms for the entirety of our school year. We finished term 1A, gave you a week off, sort of mentally prepare, transition, go to the next course, and now are on term 1B. We are at the end of week 1, remembering that this course doesn't run like all of our other WASA courses. Although our term is 9 weeks, the way that cooperative education is set up, it allows for 20 hours of in-class preparation before sending you out in your placement. So we are only going to do 20 classes, which would normally put our last day of on-air broadcasting to be December 15th. However, due to a conference that I will be attending for work, I will be out of town from December 2nd to December 4th, which means that I'm going to push that week down. So our last class on air radio Zoom will be Thursday, December 18th. Now that's not the end of term. If you are taking other courses with WASA, then you will continue until January 23rd. If you have any questions, need any help at all, it's still the first week getting your sea legs, so to speak, please feel free to email, phone, or connect with me on Facebook. You can call me at my desk. 807-737-1488 is our WASA number. If you want to get me directly, my extension is 2228. Today is a bit of a special class. We are going to talk about lesson 3, which covers goal setting. Lesson 3 is asking you to simply create a vision statement, set some goals to help prepare you for moving positively through this course. What you put into this course is what you're going to get out of this course, much like any other course, but specifically so with co-op, because we want you to gain skills to be prepared to be your best in the workplace. Rather than listening to me always talking, last year when I set up this new co-op course, I was able to partner with Northwest Employment Works here in Sioux Lookout and meet with them to create little workshops. You guys have the privilege now of watching our Northwest Employment Works partners do a workshop on goal setting. You might notice in your IL booklet material on page 30 of Unit 1, there's not much to it. It's, hey guys, this is what goal setting is. This is what a vision statement is. Now you try it. We want to make co-op straightforward. We understand you're busy. You've got a lot going on. So I try not to overwhelm you with written language and heavy reading material. But the beauty thing about these online radio Zoom classes is I get to give you background. If you need more resources, if you need more help, if what you read in your IL is not quite enough, then utilize these resources. And today we're going to utilize the workshop with our partner at Northwest Employment Works. Her name was Vicki Cheeseman, absolutely wonderful individual who took time out of her busy schedule to meet with me last year, setting up different workshops. And she created this workshop on attitude, goal setting, and personal management. I'm going to play that for you now today so that you don't just have to listen to me and utilize what she has to say. Keep in mind, this was recorded last year. So some of the things that might come up if there's, we did a lot of, hey, meet with Northwest Employment Works. They're doing a career fair. And hey, I'm going to try to stop it before we get to those points. But the content that she delivers is still valuable today. So I'm going to play that for you now, hoping that we can just do it straight from our Google Classroom. If you want, you can look up this video on our Google Classroom. I am going to skip the introductions and jump to where this video will be helpful to us today. Good morning. By skipping to about 104, we should be. This is where we meet Vicki. Coming in, Vicki.
Good morning. Thanks, Kobe. As Kobe said, my name is Vicki Cheeseman. I'm an employment advisor working with Northwest Employment Works. We offer employment and career counseling services to youth and adults. I'm here with you today to present one of our workshops. The workshop I would like to present today is on attitude, goal setting, and personal management. These are so key in establishing a career path to ensure you're searching for a position that aligns with your personality, your attitudes, and your goals. Without this, you may find employment, but will it be the right fit for you? Your search should take you to a workplace where you feel valued and your skill set is a match for the requirements of the company or the organization. When starting to consider employment opportunities, you must take some time to self-evaluate and consider the things that you know about yourself, as work and personal life do influence each other. Start by examining your personal needs, motivators, and irritants. Focus on your personality, your values, and self-concept. Once you understand you, it becomes easier to understand and successfully work with others. Please grab a piece of paper and a pencil for the next exercise. Write down the first 3 words that you think of when you think about yourself. Take a minute and write down the words. These are mirror words. Mirror words are just describe the foundation of how you view yourself and how you view others, and how you'll likely perform in a workplace. Personality and attitude dictate how one responds to conflict, crisis, and other typical workplace situations. There is a link below. We're a bit short for time, so I'm not going to play the video for you today, but for those of you that are interested, it's Oprah's Top 10 Rules for Self-Love. It's about a 14-minute video. She has some great thoughts. They're based on her experiences and may not be true for everyone, but it is a good video. If you wanted to take the time, copy the link and have a look.
Vicki, if I can just interrupt for 1 minute. Sorry, Vicki, I'm going to interrupt for 1 minute. I just want to let everybody know that the slides that Vicki has here today are being recorded. So if anybody wants to see these links, if anybody wants to follow along with the slides, they will be posted on our Google Classroom, and we're going to make them available on WASA's YouTube channel so that anyone, whether you're in co-op or not, can benefit from these incredible resources.
Okay. Are my videos going to play?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So in order to understand workplace relationships, you first must understand yourself. It's a fun little exercise here to discover your personality. As the video plays, there are 4 letter options that best describe you. Write down the letter for each section, and once the video is completed, you can click on the Myers-Briggs 16 personalities links, which are on these slides that you will see. It gives you a code, and you can go in and look and find out some information on your personality type. I will show it briefly, but we're not going to go through each type as it just would take too much time. But I'm going to play the video for you now.
Welcome. I'm so glad you've joined us to discover your personality type. This video will help you to understand the 4 key facets of personality based on the Myers-Briggs theory, and you'll learn how to put these facets together to find your own unique 4-letter personality type. The Myers-Briggs theory of personality is a way to describe differences in the way people think, make decisions, and approach the world around us. It can help you to understand why you communicate better with some people than with others, why some jobs seem more appealing to you, and why you approach relationships the way you do. Understanding your unique type opens up a wealth of knowledge about who you are and why you do the things you do. Myers-Briggs type is based on 4 facets of personality. For each facet, you must decide which style you prefer out of 2 options. Are you extroverted or introverted? Sensing or intuitive? Thinking or feeling? Judging or perceiving? We'll talk about each facet in depth so that you can better understand where your preferences lie. The first facet, extroversion-introversion, describes how you get your energy and where you prefer to focus your attention. Extroverts prefer to focus outward on the world around them. They are energized by activities like meeting new people, talking about their ideas, speaking in front of groups, and being in active environments. Introverts prefer to focus inward on their own thoughts and impressions. They are energized by activities like thinking quietly, reading, listening to music, or talking with small groups of people they know and trust. Take a moment to think about which sort of activities you find more energizing. If you have a pen and paper handy, write down your preference for E or I. The second facet, sensing intuition, describes how you take in information about the world around you. Sensors focus on facts and details and take in information using their 5 senses. Intuitives focus on meaning, interpretation, and possibilities, and take in information using their intuition. So how do you tell if you're a sensor or an intuitive? Let's try an exercise. Take a look at this cup. Think for a few moments about how you might describe it. If you have a pen and paper, write down a few words to describe the cup. Now, let's take a look at the way sensors and intuitives might respond. Sensors tend to give facts about the cup. They might say, the cup is 3 inches high, it's white, and it's made of styrofoam. It's shaped like a cone and has a lip around the top edge. Intuitives are a different story. They might compare the cup to other things, or make up a little story about the cup. An intuitive might mention that styrofoam is bad for the environment, that these cups are very flimsy when filled with hot liquid, or that the cup reminds them of the Sunday school meetings they go to every week. Take a moment to think about how you take in information. Mark down your preference for S or N. The third facet, thinking-feeling, describes how you like to make decisions. Thinkers like to base their decisions on objective data and logical analysis. A thinker might ask, what are the pros and cons? What are the logical consequences? What is the most reasonable course of action? Feelers like to base their decisions on their values and sense of what is right. They also like to consider relationships and the impact of choices on other people. A feeler might ask, what is the right thing to do? How will other people feel about this decision? How can I create a sense of harmony and cooperation? Remember, Myers-Briggs is about the style that you prefer. Most people use some thinking and some feeling when they make their decisions, but usually feel more comfortable using one style over the other. Think about the type of information you trust most in making a decision. Is it objective and logical, or values-based and personal? Take a moment and mark down your preference for T or for F. The fourth and final facet of personality is judging perceiving. This facet describes how you prefer to organize your life. Judgers are people who like to make decisions and seek out structure and organization. They tend to like schedules and to-do lists and want to know what the rules of the game are before they start. They usually dislike surprises and last-minute changes and want to know what to expect. They get satisfaction out of finishing tasks. Perceivers are people who like to leave things open-ended and want to be free to be spontaneous and go with the flow. They tend to like flexibility and situations where there are not too many rules. They are excited by surprises and often enjoy responding to urgent situations. Perceivers are open to things happening in the moment and get satisfaction out of having many options available. Take a moment now and mark down your preference for J or P. Now it's time to put it all together. The 4 letters you have chosen are combined to create a code for your personality type. It might be INFP, ESTJ, ISTP, ENFJ, or any one of 16 combinations. For each personality type, your preferences combine in a unique way to create an overall style of interacting with the world. Now that you've discovered your preferences, you'll want to see how they work together. The next step is to read a personality type profile based on your 4-letter code. This will help you to understand how the preferences work together, as well as to help you verify that you selected the preferences that best suit you. As a starting point, we recommend visiting our website, where we feature detailed descriptions of each of the 16 personality types. For each type, you can read about common characteristics, key facts, top careers, relationships, and more. Get started by visiting www.personalitydesk.com/types. Thank you for joining us today to discover your type. I hope this video has started you on a path to better self-awareness and a true understanding of yourself and others.
Okay, so we have a little bit of a different link on our slides. We think it's a little better place to find the information once you have your codes, and you'll see at the bottom the Myers-Briggs 16 personalities. I'm just going to bring up the link to show you what it looks like, but as I said, we're not going to read all 16 types today. There's just not adequate time. But this is what it looks like. At your leisure, you can go in and you can read about your personality type. There's the healer, the mastermind, the counselor, the architect. It goes on and on. I was actually did this exercise myself and was pretty surprised at how accurate it was. Please do have a look at it. It's kind of a fun thing and just teaches you a little bit about yourself.
I'm also going to interrupt the video that we had done last year, this recording, and say that anybody who is taking the GPP3O, our leadership and peer support class, we also go through this in lesson 4 of GPP. So a shameless plug, because I'm also the teacher for GPP3O, is you can take this in that course and learn more about yourself that way. A lot of our students need elective credits, and co-op helps to fulfill that, as does GPP3O. So if you are taking both, maybe you're enrolled in co-op and in GPP, you'll see how they overlap in a lot of what we're doing to learn about ourselves.
So think of your personality and how personality and behavior are connected. Also consider your values and the impact your values may have on the workplace. The next couple of slides explains what this means and how personality and values can affect you or your workplace. So what is a personality? A personality is basically stable traits that assist in explaining and predicting behaviors in people. What is a behavior? Sorry, I did click too fast there. Behavior is a reflection of personality. There are 2 types of behaviors. There's positive and negative. Examples of positive behavior would be caring, considerate, organized, and negative could be rude, unfocused, or lazy. I think we're all capable of any of these behaviors depending on the situation that we're in and the people around us. Personality and values. Values are things that are important to you as an individual. Values are only good or bad based on your personal experiences and influences. Values may include achievement, family, money, or security. Experiences shape your values. So the purpose really of this workshop is to create a vision statement. This slide is a little bit early in my presentation. I've left it there. We're going to touch base on it, but we will circle back to it again at the end of the presentation. But when creating a vision statement, you want to think, who am I and what is my goal? A vision statement is just a brief summary of your best attributes and your ultimate career goal. The next slides are going to really provide you a little more insight, so that's why I would like to just kind of go by this for now, and we will circle back to it at the end. So attitude is a strong belief toward people, things, and situations. An individual's attitude influences the group's performance, which then impacts the organization's performance. Since you cannot avoid others, be aware of the impact others have on your life. Attitude, good or bad, can bring up or take down the performance of a department, company, and organization. Negativity feeds negativity, and positivity is equally contagious. There's a short video that I'd like to present. A young lady named Bobby is speaking. This is not at all specific to employment, but it does demonstrate how a positive outlook, regardless of the challenges that you face, can lead you to a happy life.
Again, I'm going to interrupt our recording from this workshop that we did and say that if you want to go and watch these recordings, please look them up. We have the link there available to you. I am not going to show them in this class. I just want to reiterate a lot of what Vicki is saying and talk about why we're doing this. That part of lesson 3 is how co-op opens doors. Your key questions, those assignments that you have to do, are all about setting goals and creating a vision statement. So we're going to take a lot of the tips from Vicki's workshop to put on here, but I am going to skip over some of the resources that she has, not because they're not valuable. This particular YouTube TED Talk that she's going to show is incredibly powerful. I'm just going to skip ahead to where we are talking about the lesson material, but please, I do encourage you to go look at these YouTube clips on your own time and be inspired by them. It was definitely something that I found to be quite powerful.
So for me, the big takeaway from that video is don't let others define what you are capable of. Only you can do that. Ask yourself the following questions. The answers to these questions will aid you in the exercise of writing your vision statement. Please record your answers to these questions for reference, as they'll be absolutely useful when you start to create your vision statement. Some of the questions, I'm not going to read them all, but things like 3 words that describe you, 3 words a friend would use to describe you, 3 words a family would use to describe you. Just look at how these words are related, how they're different, and it'll just give you some insight into yourself and help you when you start to work on the assignment of creating the vision statement.
So I will take the time right now to talk about the other things that Vicki has on her slide. Because reiterating what Vicki spoke about at the beginning, you really need to know yourself so that you can be successful in any situation that you find yourself in. A lot of what Unit 1 is doing in this co-op class is getting you to realize who you are, what your interests are, what your skills are, what you're good at, so that you can be a contributing member of your team in whatever workplace you find yourself in. A lot of these questions of the who am I help to build even your lesson 1. In lesson 1 of co-op, you are given the worker education agreement. I'm sorry, not lesson 1. I'm looking here at lesson 2. Lesson 2 is the CELP. It's the Cooperative Education Learning Plan. And a lot of this can have you reflecting on what tasks you're doing, and maybe it's a good opportunity to bring up with your supervisor, your employer, saying, these are my strengths. These are my interests. Maybe I can be doing more of these tasks. So on the slide that Vicki had up for us last year are more of the questions. And much like when you do a reflective journal, there are prompts. You don't have to use all of them, but the questions continue on to say, in what ways are these words related? The words that your family would use to describe you, the words that your friends would use to describe you, the words that you would use to describe you. How are they related? Are you the same to your friends as you are to your family as you see yourself? Probably not, maybe not. So, what ways do they differ? Really think about what are your values. Think about the things that are important to you. What are your beliefs? And then consider who helped shape your values and beliefs. I said how a lot of you might be taking this DCO3O course along with the GPP3O course, and you'll notice a lot of these go hand in hand because this course is about learning about yourself so that you can use your strengths in your workplace, and GPP is leadership and peer support, beautifully working together to help you in any situation, whereas co-op is specifically in the workplace. I'm going to continue now with Vicky's workshop.
So, goal setting is crucial to ensure that you're working toward the finish line of your goals and your expectations, and it helps to keep you motivated and on the right track. You may need to establish many short-term goals to get to the end and complete your long-term goal. So, what is a goal? A goal is a target. Think of it as a reward at the top of the ladder. You must climb the ladder before reaching that reward. Goals provide focus, increase self-concept, and help overcome procrastination, fear, or failure. Setting goals will help you become more successful in your career. So, the influences of goals help make your career plans clearer and more meaningful. As a goal is reached, you'll experience motivation and self-confidence. Set goals in major areas of your life. It can be more than career. It can be personal, career, financial, education, physical, any place that you may need to use that to motivate you. Achieving a short-term goal and a long-term goal is like climbing a ladder, and goals do need to be put into writing. Long-term goals can be reached within a time frame of 5 to 10 years. Typically, 5 years is a good number. Setting long-term goals starts with thinking of what you want to accomplish in your life. Keep your goals realistic, attainable, measurable, and important. If you don't have a reason for the goal, it's very hard to stay motivated to reach that point. So short-term goals are goals that can be reached within a year's time. Typically, it can be less, it can be more, but a year is a good number. So these goals are made to help you to reach your long-term goals. Again, you got to keep them realistic, achievable, measurable, and important to you. We have an acronym. It's called SMART. It's a SMART method of setting goals. Basically, your goals have to be specific, identify what you want to accomplish. They have to be measurable, they have to be achievable, they have to be relevant, and they have to be time-based. I have another little 7-minute video. It goes through each of these categories and just explains it in more depth.
I'm going to pause that video as well. There are so many resources available online, not just YouTube, where you can gain more information about how to set goals. One method is the SMART method. This acronym where SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. Feel free to practice your skills of utilizing the internet, of finding information. Maybe it's not online, maybe it's not technical or digital, maybe it's asking other people. Utilize the resources around you. In our co-op IL booklet, we are talking about the importance of setting goals, and your first key question in lesson 3 is to record 2 goals. You are asked to write 2 goals that could be related to this course, could be related to your career, whatever your goal might be. Be sure to identify your goal. Determine how the goal contributes to your overall success, your big plan, your big picture. Explain why you want to achieve the goal, and then create an action plan outlining steps that you will need to take to reach your goal. So what Vicky is showing us here is how to set up a goal, how to create a goal, and it's part of the 7-minute YouTube video that she shared with us last year. I'm going to skip through so that we can get to the next part. But again, it's a great video. It's a wonderful resource. Feel free to look at that one or find others. You want to make sure it checks those boxes though, that your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. Here we go with continuing with the workshop.
SMART goal. So a couple of sentences here. Which one is correct? I want to finish school. Or I want to graduate and receive my diploma in carpentry by June of 2020. Obviously, by what we've just learned, number two is the correct way to set a SMART goal. You always need to remember SMART goals must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time based. If you set and follow your short-term goals, you will ultimately reach your long-term goals. This slide shows a good example of how to create these goals and keep you moving forward. So examples of short-term goals that will help achieve the goal of I want to graduate and receive my diploma in carpentry by June 2020. I will start working on my high school credits in January. I will have my credits finished by June. In August, I will apply for the pre-apprentice program. Just setting these short-term goals it gives you something measurable and helps you on your road to that long-term goal.
So again, when we're talking about these actionable items in our IL course, where the key question is asking you to create your goals, think of the big picture, these long-term goals, and start breaking it down into the short-term goals, those actionable items. Vicky had the example of what a SMART goal looks like. Don't just say, I want to finish school. Make it a SMART goal, make it specific. I want to graduate and receive my diploma in carpentry. Measurable, put a time on it. Make it achievable. Don't say you need to have it done by next week if you still need 4 credits. Make it relevant. If it's not important to you, if you're writing this goal because your significant other says you should or a parent says you should, you want to make it important to you. You'll be more likely to achieve the goal if it's relevant to you. And then Vicky breaks it down into the short-term goals. So if your goal is that you want to graduate and receive your diploma in carpentry by June 2020, you need to start working on high school credits now, or say in the new year. I'm going to get my ducks in a row. I'm going to make sure I've got childcare or something lined up so that I can set aside specific time to be working on my coursework. Give yourself these baby steps so that you can be successful. Then it goes on. I'm just going to, put it back to where Vicky was talking, and I kind of lost my spot. I think it was about here. We'll just play from here. Here we go.
Owning and controlling your goals is up to you, and only you can achieve the result you are looking for. You need to own that goal. Each goal must belong to you. Only you can accomplish your goal. No one can do it for you, and you can't accomplish others. You need to decide what your goals will be. You need to control that goal. You need to know what resources and constraints are involved. You need to know how to get around those or overcome that. You need to be flexible and maintain realistic control. Don't just think about your goals. Write them down. Follow your progress. Formal goal setting is so important. When you make it a formal goal, the level of performance increases, the quality improves, and your self-confidence rises. So having said that, we're right back to where we were with our vision statement. We're nearing the end of the presentation. The link that initially came with this is no longer a valid link. I did find another. It's not so much for a job seeker. It's a bit more actually in an education setting, but the theory is the same, and I'm sure this will help you, give you some insight into how to go about starting with your vision statement. The video is only 3 or 4 minutes long, and I'm going to play it for you right now.
And we're actually not going to play it right now. But once again, please feel free to go back, follow the link. If you're following along with the slides here, the link is posted, and you can do that at your own leisure. But tying it back in, the activity is to create a vision statement and your goals. You can use the material that's written in our independent learning booklet about these are what goals are, this is what a vision statement is. Again, the beautiful thing about the radio Zoom classes that we're doing here and now are to give you more background so that you can get these ideas of what does that look like? Give me some examples. How do I find the information I'm looking for? You can use these clips to help you really nail down what's important to you, how to create a SMART goal, what that looks like in helping you to achieve and maybe be where you want to be by June or in 2 years or in 4 years. Here we go with the rest of the workshop.
So the information contained in that video can be adapted to fit your personal vision statement in regards to your future employment goals. I've also included some examples of vision statements that I did find online that may help give you some ideas or inspire you. There are 7 different examples. It is quite lengthy for me to read it all to you, but some examples of a vision statement to touch the lives of as many people as possible, empowering them to achieve personal and career happiness and success. I plan to achieve this career vision through one-on-one learning situations, teaching and coaching, creating and publishing, empowering and uplifting web content, career college success wellness, and development leading inspiring workshops. Now that's a big mouthful. I don't know that anybody expects that we're looking for 30 or 40 words in a couple of sentences. Just looking at, as we said earlier, your best attributes and your ultimate career goals. If you were to take away all barriers and reach out for what it is you would like to achieve. Thank you so much for listening. Good luck with your future goals. If you ever require employment services, please do reach out to us at Northwest Employment Works. Also, just wanted to note that please do complete your vision statements and send them to Kobe. I would love to see what you've come up with. Also, please keep in mind that life will sometimes alter or change your plans for a variety of reasons. Your goals can be changed and altered as you progress. You must be flexible with this. Life and situations will affect your personality, your values, and attitudes, which is going to have a direct impact on these goals. Keep in mind where you want to see yourself in the future. You will get to your finish line, just don't give up. Thank you so much. My contact information is here on this last slide. If anybody ever wants to meet with me or speak to me or just needs help or advice, please do reach out. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day.